Hey, this is Chris Doherty of Doherty Properties with your Massachusetts Housing Report. I want to come to you and talk to you about um, what we're seeing in the market as of September 30th. If we compare January to September 30th of 2022, and we compare that from January to September 30th of 2021. So it's basically a review of comparing the years. And I take this data from the multiple listing called the MLS PIN, which is where we aggregate the data from, which is the tool that brokers in this area utilize. What I want you to know right now is we're currently seeing a market in Massachusetts where prices are continuing to climb by nearly double digits. And we are still solidly in a seller's market in Massachusetts based on the absorption rate in the single family market, in the multifamily, and the condo market. Okay. So to explain this to you a little bit, normally what we would see in a seller's market is anything from 3 months of inventory or less is considered a seller's market. Anything from 3 to 5 is considered a neutral market, and anything above 5 would be considered a buyer's market. And the absorption rate in Massachusetts in all three categories, we are still solidly in a seller's market. The single family market right now has a 1.38% absorption rate. The condo market has a 1.6 month absorption rate, and the multifamily market is a 1.78 month absorption rate. Now, these are up from last year, and in the single family market, up somewhat considerably, 23%. But you have to take that in light of the fact of what was happening last year. Your absorption rate was well under 1 month, which was historic. And so that's the phenomenon of what you were seeing. Houses were coming on the market. They were getting gobbled up that first week. There were 20 or 30 offers. So that absorption rate is starting to normalize, but it's still in a very healthy seller's market category. At the same time, as we look at prices throughout Massachusetts, prices are on the rise. And that trend will continue. That's why you're seeing the Fed take such an aggressive posture to try to slow the growth throughout the country. But in Massachusetts, we have a resilient market. In the single family market, housing prices climbed 10.28%. Condos were up 8.23%. And multifamilies were up 12% in sold prices if you compare this year to last year. Okay. What's happening in our market is pretty simple. The Fed had very low interest rates, and we're giving money to the market to keep interest rates last year at these unbelievably low levels. Now, as they raise rates aggressively and reduce that money, they're doing that in an effort because they're looking at this data that I'm telling you right here. Now, this is Massachusetts data, and they're looking at this nationally. And we are faring better than the rest of the country. But they're looking at this and they're saying, historically, we would see 2 to 3% growth in the housing market, maybe 4, but we're not used to seeing 8, 9, 10, 20 last year, these crazy numbers of growth. Remember, we're not through the year yet, so there's still growth opportunity that's going to happen here. They're trying to slow that down. That's why you're seeing these moves aggressively to try to tame the cost of housing, okay? And that is having an impact because what we're starting to see is that while inventory is lower, the number of units taken is down in all three categories from this year to last year. So there's fewer listings that were taken, but the absorption rate is up, days of market. That's providing a little bit more inventory. Some buyers are getting knocked out of the market because the interest rate pricing is pricing them out. And so overall, the number of homes sold is down. So 13% less homes were sold in this report from last year. And then we had the condo market, 18% were less sold from this year to last year, and 8% in the multifamily market. So what does this mean and what's happening? Essentially, it's a normalization of this market where things are coming to the market. You do have fewer buyers. There's still a lot of buyers, right? The absorption rate is still showing you that things are still moving well, but that is causing homes to sit a little bit longer, right? Average days on market are slightly up. And with the home sitting a little longer, it's giving buyers some opportunity. And at the end of the day, And with inventory being lower, you're having less homes that are sold on the market. Okay. If you look at days on market in the single family category, it's actually the same. It was 59 days last year. It's 59 this year. If you look at the multifamily market, it's up 3%, 60 days to 62. And if you look at the condo market, it's up 6.78% from 59 days to 63. So overall, what's happening here is interest rates are pulling some buyers out of our market pool, okay? And it's forcing a normalization of the market in Massachusetts. Still a very strong seller's market, okay? But certainly the government is doing what it can to try to tame and control some of this pricing. So if you're a buyer, my advice to you is you should still expect to pay more for the house in the days ahead than you would have today or even last year, because that's why the Fed is raising rates. And the catch-22 here is prices are still continuing to climb, but the rates are also climbing. So what it's leaving it with is the more affluent buyer is having an opportunity to get the house that they want. People that were maybe a little bit on the cusp of getting knocked out because of the interest rate hike, bringing in fewer buyers, but there's still a lot of buyers because you can see the absorption rate. Homes are still moving at a pretty good clip, okay? If you're a seller, you have to look at the data and say, okay, the market is still moving nicely. I should expect it to take a little longer than it would have last year. I'm not likely to get the 20 to 22% jump that happened last year. So my expectations have to be more realistic, okay? So I want to price this knowing that, hey, this house might take a little longer to sell, and I am likely to get the price because price is climbing. But I want to be reasonable in my approach. What was happening last year, the conversations were like, let's throw it out and see if you get it, and you would get it, okay? Maybe the house that you thought was $629, you were putting on at $699, and you were getting 10 offers, and it was going for $750 or $8. I mean, it was that crazy. You don't want to do that in this market now. You want to look at the market, you want to look at the data and say, all right, I want to be realistic, knowing when I come to market, there are going to be buyers. There may be 2 or 3 or 4 offers, maybe 1, but there's not going to be 25 or 30, okay? And it's going to take a little while on the market. But overall in Massachusetts, we're doing really well. This market is still very strong. It's still a seller's market. Things are still moving at a very good clip. You can look on our social media pages and see every day we are closing, and all of our agents are incredibly busy. And I expect that's going to continue through the months ahead. The Fed is going to continue to raise rates until they see these price numbers come down to more normal levels of that 3 to 4%. So you should expect continued increases as they try to do that. And as they stabilize that, I think you'll see them drop rates. I think you're likely to see that, depending on how the data comes in, could be summertime next year, somewhere in that range. You can see the Fed try to stimulate a little bit. They're trying to land this softly. They're not trying to crash it. They're trying to slow it, right? And then get it normal and then see if they can keep it at a more normal level. All right. So I hope this information helps you. If you have any comments, please comment below. Send me a message. I love hearing from everybody about their thoughts on the market. Hope you guys have a great day and month ahead, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.